To Southern California. Tonight marks 1 year since the destructive wildfires ravaged parts of Los Angeles County. It's really hard to forget these images. I mean, the intense firestorms packed with 90-mile-per-hour winds. Thousands of families were left with nothing but the clothes that they were wearing. 1 year later, some survivors say their properties are at the center of a modern-day gold rush for corporations. Properties in Altadena's misfortune are being turned into profit. ABC's Alex Stone reports tonight from Altadena, California, just northeast of Los Angeles.
This is Altadena today. Sunshine baking empty, burned out lots. 1 year ago, wildfires across Southern California destroyed lives.
My whole neighborhood is gone. I don't know how we're going to come back from this.
I was here as residents of Altadena were racing to get out.
Some fire now spreading right here. Oh, it's coming over here. Okay, we're going to get out of here.
In the end, 19 people died and over 9,400 structures burned. Now some of Altadena's longest residents are deciding not to return. An analysis by our ABC News and ABC-owned station's data team shows in the 9 months after the fires in Southern California, nearly half of homes sold in the fire zones were bought by corporations or investment firms. But not everybody believes Altadena is turning into a moneymaker for developers.
If there was a gold rush happening, the lots would be selling faster and for more.
Well, it can seem like so much progress is being made here in Altadena, a new roof going on this home, building all over. Take a step back, there is so much work left to do and decisions to be made.
Chen Yu is well known here in Altadena. The Pasadena firefighter lost his own home while on the front lines battling the flames. He and his neighbors determined to preserve Altadena.
I think everybody that lives on the street have some type of feeling towards these special homes. So I think that was pretty easy of everybody wanting to be back. That is building back.
Chan and his wife Kim, along with their entire block, are rebuilding as their homes were built in the late 1940s. The mid-century modern look and floor plans will be the same.
It started as a group text, and then the block had a gathering, and we talked about how we wanted to do all this together.
Together, they vetted architects, concrete companies, and contractors who are rebuilding most of the street as one project.
Eventually, it was that we finally came to where we are with the agreement of the 17 homes, and let's all permit together, and they created 4 standard design plans.
Like so many, it's been a rough year for the Yu family, living in temporary housing. But in recent weeks, a new hope.
It's got to be exciting when you
It is so exciting.
see these other homes and think we're next.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Any idea timeline?
Yeah, he said 8 months.
Only 8 months.
Only 8 months.
Yes, 8
We'll
months.
take it.
Wait, 8 months from now?
Yes.
You're going to be moving in?
Yeah, we'll take it.
Those smiles symbolic of the rebirth here. Alex Stone, ABC News, Altadena, California.
Tributes and remembrances taking place today in Southern California. In Pacific Palisades, the American Legion paid a tribute to the lives lost in the fire. Family members of the 12 people who died in the Palisades were given a flag and a flower to honor them. Survivors of the Eaton fire spoke out in Altadena today, marking the 1-year anniversary of the deadly fires. The Eaton Fire Survivors Network emphasized that many families are still struggling with housing. The nonprofit group found that about 70% of Eaton and Palisades survivors remain displaced 1 year after the fires.
It's an overwhelming emotional day. It's been a year since the fires. I still haven't been home. My family hasn't been home. Although our house is standing, we got lead contamination, so we don't feel safe going back.
I ran out of unemployment money, and it's kind of hard trying to just stay afloat. I'm back at work, but it's nowhere near the capacity that I was before the fire.
Both local and state leaders say that they know there's still a lot of work to do to make sure that survivors have the necessary resources to recover. But one major barrier to that recovery is delayed or inadequate insurance payments. Wildfire survivors have been raising concerns all year. I do want to bring in ABC 10's Becca Hobegger joining us live in studio to talk about what reforms are in the works to help survivors and also all Californians.
Alex, state and federal lawmakers alike have been working on introducing and passing bills that will help future wildfire survivors anywhere in the state, including proposed legislation to hold insurers accountable when they don't hold up their end of the bargain.
Insurance was supposed to be the safety net that helped families get home after a disaster. Instead, for too many of us, delays and underpayments have become a wrecking ball.
Joy Chen with the Eaton Fire Survivors Network says 70% of insured Eaton and Palisades wildfire survivors report insurance delays, denials, and underpayments are actively blocking their recovery.
A disturbing truth emerged. Whether a family was recovering or not depended largely on one thing, which insurance company they had.
The Eaton Fire Survivors Network and nonprofit consumer group Consumer Watchdog are partnering with Democratic State Senator Sasha Perez, who just this week introduced 2 bills, one that will penalize insurance companies that don't meet their legal deadlines to make payments, and a second that will force insurance companies to show their cards to policyholders when determining loss claim payment amounts, Perez said in a news release. California Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara says since the LA wildfires, more than 42,000 claims have been filed, and more than $22 billion in claims have been paid out as of mid-November. He announced Tuesday he is partnering with California Senator Padilla on the Disaster Recovery Reform Act, which aims to cut red tape, improve payouts, and end delays and runarounds by insurance companies. If passed, this could help future insured wildfire survivors anywhere in the state. Lara also worked with state lawmakers this past legislative session to help wildfire survivors statewide, including speeding up claim payouts and strengthening the financial stability of the FAIR Plan. That's the state's fire insurer of last resort for homeowners, and many Eaton and Palisades survivors had no other choice but the FAIR Plan. A statement this week from the plan said it has handled some 5,400 claims from the 2 fires and paid out nearly $3.5 billion to policyholders. The FAIR Plan is working through the final portion of remaining claims, including claims that were previously closed and later reopened as rebuilding and inspections continued, it said. Looking ahead, the FAIR Plan says it has secured more financing to ensure it's ready to pay claims in the event of a future disastrous wildfire anywhere in the state.
Today's the very sad first anniversary.
Billionaire climate activist, businessman, and candidate for California Governor Tom Steyer held a news conference in Sacramento Wednesday discussing what he thinks needs to change around California's power grid and big investor-owned utilities, which have caused more than a quarter of the state's most destructive wildfires. I asked him about insurance.
There's a strong tradition in insurance not to pay claims and certainly not to pay them quickly, because they have time on their side as people get more and more desperate, and I think that's absolutely wrong. And so, of course, I'm 100% behind the homeowners who are trying to receive the insurance that they absolutely paid for and deserve.
He said California needs to further invest in wildfire prevention and home hardening.
There are new technologies about hardening houses that really work. And we have to make it possible for people to be able to afford them the way we made it possible for people to put solar on their roof.
Today, U.S. Senators Alex Padilla, a California Democrat, and Tim Sheehy, a Montana Republican, announced bipartisan legislation to establish a new grant program to help local communities defend themselves from the growing danger of wildfires. Now, those efforts would include home hardening, and 2 California representatives, a Democrat and Republican, are leading companion legislation in the U.S. House of Representatives. Alex?